What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're joining us once again, back from the year of the chair, the year of our Lord 2019. Once again, we are back. As always, I am joined by my good friend and co-host.
This is Eric.
For the Pull Up a Chair podcast. The flagship podcast of this little network we call the Pull Up a Chair Podcast Network.
Sounds good.
You like that? You like that
opening?
I
loved it.
That opening?
It's been a long time since I've heard it.
Buddy, it's been about a month. Or maybe a month and a half.
We had a lot of stuff go on. I mean, life got in the way.
Life did get in the way. Tornadoes got in the way.
Tornadoes and weather got in the way for a couple weeks. And then Memorial
Day got in the way.
Yeah.
Also, Nick was sick.
Nick got sick, yeah.
I was deathly ill. I saw my grandparents.
That's weird because they're not dead.
Yeah, I know. They're.
And I saw them. I was trying to get them sick.
I was going to say, Grandma and Grandpa, let me cough on you. And they ran away from me. Very nimble for 94.
They leaped over that fence so fast.
Yeah, like you never would have known that they were in their 90s. None of that is true, by the way, but I was sick.
Yeah, you were sick.
I was sick. I were sick.
We're sick? That's sick?
I was sick. You said it correctly. I said I were sick.
That's not that. It's not that wrong. We live in Oklahoma.
We do. Well, my friend, we have a few things to discuss. And as always, we're going to do it in 30 minutes. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Eric, we saw John Wick.
Yeah, I've seen the first one and the second one. And Parabellum, the most current one?
The most current one.
That's my Oklahomism.
Yes.
The most current of ones.
The most current of Wickian.
Of the Wickian trilogy thus far.
It was a movie of Wickian proportions.
It was. It was good. I enjoyed it. Overall, I'm going to say I enjoyed it. Just start off the show with that. Then we can talk about what I didn't enjoy or what I thought was odd.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was good. Nick?
I enjoyed it. Honestly, we saw it. We saw it just about a month ago. We saw it.
Was it a month ago?
Just about.
We saw it the opening weekend.
We did. How long ago was it? Maybe it was only 2 weeks ago.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Man, it feels longer than that. It feels like, Eric, a lot's happened since then. Our lives have. My life has really changed since then.
All those changes in your life in that past 2 weeks feel like a month.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it really does. It may have been the fact that I got a 3-day weekend. Let's see. John Wick 3 release date, May 17th, 2019. So,
almost a month. Almost a month. Today's, so half a month. Because it's the 3rd.
Right. So, here's the deal. After having seen it and having sat on it for 3 weeks, the more I think about it, honestly, the more I enjoyed that movie. Not that I thought it was bad coming out of it, but the more if you hear something in the background, that is my dog. He is, I think, dreaming. I'm not sure.
He's snoring, sounds like, or he's snorting.
Yeah, one of the two. That is Pond. But no, the more it's with me, the more I like it. I really think it was a good movie. It was a little bit more violent than the other ones have been.
Yes, it was. Now, you did something very kind. Almost a gift, like a heartfelt gift you gave your wife. You watched the first with her and introduced her to John Wick. That's very kind of you.
It was. I wanted to make sure that my wife was properly indoctrinated into into my family's way of life, because to be part of my family is to be part of the Wick.
That's right. I agree with that. I mean, we've talked on this show about your dad and his past and the terrifying man he is. Sometimes I do think John Wick is based on your dad.
Oh, he is.
Okay, I thought so. I didn't want to say anything, especially in front of him.
We call him Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
we call him Baba Yaga.
So
we call him Papa Yaga.
Papa Yaga.
Papa Yaga. Anyway, so I mean, yes, to be part of my family, you have to be, which almost sounds like a creepy cult, but you have to be part of Wick. You have to be one with the Wick. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, yeah, we watched the first. It was kind of neat to go back and watch those and reminisce my way through the times before that I saw these movies and thought,
Yeah.
man, they really hold up.
I wish I wouldn't watch them beforehand. I didn't. That is my own fault. I blame myself and only myself in not doing so. To not giving John Wick the attention it deserves.
Right, which I honestly say you have brought shame to your family.
That was not the first time.
To your kids.
So, but it was good. It was good. Yeah. You touched on it. It was a little more gory.
Yeah.
It wasn't just violent. It was almost the... So I'm not a fan of gore. I'm very careful about what I watch and what I listen to and stuff. And there was a few times I'm like, I'm watching this. You know, back in the day, in the early days of the internet, is one of those things. It's like you could see anything. I don't know if you remember those days
Right.
when it's like you could just find, if you wanted to see just horrible things, you could find it. You still can, but
I mean, they'll
just
live stream stuff nowadays.
yeah,
so.
but yeah, back you see
Yeah,
horrible things.
Now it's more regulated now, but
It feels a little
back then it was more
out of
wide
control.
open.
Yeah, you could just like download torrent the wrong video and see some horrible stuff, like someone just naming it wrong because it's
Yes.
torrents. And so I became very wary of what I watch because I was like, man, I don't like accidentally seeing anything. And so when it gets gory, I'm one of those guys that's like, nope, not watching this. I'll just cover my eyes for just a second. And I'll peek until it's done. I know what's going on. I'm not, I don't want any spoilers, but there's some pretty graphic violence. Are we gonna do spoilers? If we do spoilers,
Yeah, but it's been out long enough. People can know.
Okay,
there are a lot of knife deaths in this.
Yeah, so from here on out, we're cool. Okay,
yeah.
so if you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, from here on out, we're going to talk about the movie as if you've seen it. We're going to talk about scenes.
You know what?
And what happens.
No, don't let them off that. If you haven't seen it by this point, shame on you.
Shame.
A pox on you and your household. Yeah, I'm going deep here, Eric. I'm rolling deep in this because people should be seeing this movie, taking their kids to see this movie. It's people need to be one with the Wick. Have you not understood that?
I always fall behind you. You're so much more devoted than I am.
Get down with the sickness.
But yeah, so the first scene I'm talking about is the one where the guy gets a knife stabbed into his eyeball. That really grossed me out. I couldn't handle that. I was like, whoa.
It was a touching scene.
He was very intimate.
It was.
If I could.
They sat there and they stared into each other's eyes as John Wick started hitting the back of the knife so that it went into his eye. Which, that was my thing. How many
deaths?
Well, how many things can he punch the back of into people?
Okay, so it's kind of like a knife.
He did a knife. He did a book.
A book.
Was there a pencil?
I feel like there was a pencil at some point, but maybe that was a different movie. Or a pen or something.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because someone's going to try to stop you from doing it, but you start hitting the back of it, and I mean, that's how he got it to go into people's flesh a lot of times.
Well, I feel like John Wick, the writers, they try for realism, and I don't know if that's an actual technique. I have no idea. I've never done fighting with knives. Personally,
I'm sure it is a technique.
I don't know if it's like a movie technique, but it seemed awful
effective.
Effective, yeah.
At least in the John Wick world, I mean, it definitely helps gravity push it down farther.
I mean, yeah, you get that. I feel like, how many times did he do that?
There were
a couple knives.
Yeah, there was a bunch of times with knives that he.
And the book one, the book one was near the beginning, and then the knives one. I was trying to think if there's any other thing that I feel like if it wasn't a pen, that might have been in the second one.
The second one, there was a pencil, but I don't remember. I will say they came up with a lot of ways to kill people. There were horse deaths.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember the horse deaths.
He's in the
stable.
He kept getting the horse to kick people.
Yeah, that would be horrible. That would hurt.
Yeah, well, no, I can imagine it would be quite painful.
I'm trying to think.
Both for the horse and a human.
So we have... Of course, knife, gun, obviously, book death, which I didn't see that one coming, motorcycle deaths, horse deaths.
which
dog deaths.
By the way, the book death was he defeated a 7-foot assassin played by Philadelphia 76ers center, and I'm going to nail this name, Boban Marjanovic.
Yes, it's that guy.
That guy. But here's my thing. That teaches me, all I could think of in that scene was, this is why I don't go to libraries.
Yeah, I mean, libraries are dangerous.
This is why I don't read.
So I refuse to learn.
Yeah, like I think that what we should learn from this is libraries are dangerous places.
Just don't go there.
Yeah, that you shouldn't be hanging out.
Teach your kids to not go to libraries.
Yes.
Because there's a possibility a 7-foot assassin might be there.
Yep, just waiting for him.
Yeah. I mean, or worse.
That would cheat and try to kill you with 10 minutes left to go.
Yep. That he did. He was a cheater, pumpkin eater.
Which, by the way, that's a spoiler right there, if you didn't pick up on that. So, I mean, let's get down to this a little bit more. Eric, you said you were going to tell us some things that you thought were weird.
Weird, yeah. Okay. The one that I'm going to go with what bothered me the most. And by weird, I mean things I'm like, it feels like it didn't fit. Is when they were in Casablanca, they referred to the Continental as the Casablanca Continental. Why did they say where it was at? I don't understand. I mean, they could have referenced that they're in Casablanca anyway, in any way. But the Continental should just be the Continental. Everyone knows what the Continental is.
Right.
Why did you have to call it the Casablanca Continental? They didn't do that they didn't call it the New York Continental or the Rome Continental. They just call it the Continental.
Right.
So that was weird. That actually took me out of it a little bit. And also at that time, I did have to leave during the around that time to go to the bathroom. When I came back here, like, this was probably the most plot heavy part of the movie. I was like, there was no killing? I don't think there was any killing. No. I was like, I didn't miss anything.
No, you missed, like, honestly, in the entire movie, once again, as we've said in the past, John Wick movies, not known for heavy plots.
Yeah.
That part you missed, though, was probably the densest part of plot in any of the 3 movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean...
And I had a very tall beer early on, waiting for everyone to show up, and it hit me, and I was like, oh, I can make it till the end. And I was like, no, I can't. And I was like, I gotta go. And I went as quick as I was not gone very long. Right. I wasn't gone but a few, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Here's the deal. Eric left during the part where John's going out to the desert.
Yeah, before that. But like when I came back, they were talking to
the head of the high table.
Was that the head of the high table?
Yes.
They were talking to him, and he got his crotch bit. Like I walked in, they were talking to him. You know, he's like, "I want your dog."
Oh, I thought you left when he.
I thought that's right.
When he met the guy in the desert.
No, I saw that part.
Oh, you did?
The guy, like the head. Oh, that guy. Yeah, I saw that. That guy. The I don't know what they call him. Nomad.
Yeah. Okay.
I was there for that.
The Nomad was the head of the high table.
Okay.
This guy was just a member of the high table, but now I'm remembering. Yes, they explained a little bit about when did you leave?
He just met with was it Halle Berry?
Yeah. And
you know, they were suiting up to go see him, and I was like, I gotta go because there's not gonna be a lot of killing. I didn't think for a little bit, so they were talking. I was like, so I'm gonna go right now. Went out, went to the bathroom, came back, and when I came back, they were at the dude's, I don't know, balcony of some sort.
Yeah, they took him up to the top level of his place. Yes.
And so they were talking and trying to get things organized, and everything goes well, and they're leaving. When I got back, things are hashed out. They're just finishing up hashing things out, and he goes, "I want your dog."
Yeah.
She says no, and then he shoots the dog in the bulletproof vest, and then bad things happen to him.
And as it should.
And of course, John Wick goes, "I get it. Yeah. I get it." I thought that was a good.
That was a great
callback to the first one. He goes, no, I get it.
Which, I mean, there were a couple of callbacks because also when he goes back to when he goes back to the Continental and the head of the Continental asks him, what do you need? And he's like, guns. Lots of guns, which is a callback to the first movie. Yeah. So, I mean, there were some, fun little fan moments there. But, yeah, that part that you were on, you learn a little bit more about the high table through that guy. And
okay, see, I feel like I missed something because of that. Because they referenced some stuff later on in it that I didn't entirely understand.
Guess what?
What's that?
I got you tickets again.
But you can only go in for the piece you missed.
Yes.
Then you got to go.
Then you got to leave. They will come and they will shoo you out. Which the theater we went to is this new theater up the way from us here, the Showbiz Theater.
It was good. It was nice.
Which I keep waiting for it to be the same Showbiz that I knew and loved.
Showbiz Pizza.
Showbiz Pizza.
It is Showbiz Pizza kind of inside the arcade.
Well, it does. I just want the band.
Oh, you want
gorilla?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So, I mean, it was a nice theater. It was comfy.
It was very good.
It was a comfy watch death.
If I was going to go like tonight and watch a movie, I would fall asleep because it's really comfortable. So,
it very much is. They've got the nice leather seats that pull out, and
it's good.
It was. So you had a problem. Let's get back to this. I kind of sidetracked us here, but you had a problem with them. What about that took you out of the moment?
Just because it feels like the Continentals are. You kind of come to find out they're more like there's chain. you can they're franchises almost.
They're like the Hilton Honors.
Yeah, you're like I'm part of the rewards program for the Marriott and the Marriott suite of hotels.
I'm a VIP member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what or like airlines, how they do that. One World. Yeah. Airline. So it's like, oh, okay, so because the New York one lost its credentials or its sanction, and that's when everything went down. And so I was sitting there going, oh man, it's like, okay, so, and then I don't know that kind of it just took me out of it because like it should just say everyone knows what a Continental is. You don't have to say where it's at. It's almost like Continental is, I don't want to say holy ground, but like neutral ground. The idea of Continental is they're all neutral ground. You cannot fight on them.
Right.
So obviously, because in the second episode, that's how everything starts.
No matter where you're at, that it should always be the same. Which they had already established. They were in Casablanca.
Yeah.
Because that guy that kind of comes and picks him up when those other assassins
welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to Casablanca.
You remember he says he referenced it directly, and so that
it just seemed too much.
To me, I can understand that. It wasn't really something that hit me at the time, but now that you bring it up, yes, I could see that being like this is the world that is being established. Now, I mean, I could see that being kind of an annoyance type thing.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just like, it was minor. If I watch it again, I probably won't even think about it.
Right.
When I watch it again.
But when you watch it the first time, you're like, why are you
putting this?
Why are you reiterating the thing that you already said?
Yeah.
There's no point.
No.
John knows where he's at.
Everyone knows where they're at.
Right.
You don't need to tell the audience. The audience can figure it out.
Right.
I hate when movies try to spoon feed information that you should have just been able to pick up.
Right.
So I'm the worst at picking up information. There's a lot of times that I have to be like, what do we do? What? What? I'm bad at it. And this was like, they told you already. I don't know. That is my
like, who are these people?
Did you have any moments where you're like, didn't draw you out maybe, but you're like, this is weird, or why is this happening? Did you have anything like that?
Well, I did. When John Wick was with the Nomad.
Okay.
He talked a lot.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this is not a Keanu Reeves movie. He shouldn't be talking like this.
Okay. He
should just be glaring at him.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, I will say the Nomad scene did seem kind of nowhere. Because I mean, we've we've been moving fast this whole time, and I know they in the midst of storytelling, at some point you have to have a transition, and that's what this acted for. But the deal with him, and you and I kind of talked about this, the deal with him cutting off his finger, because he had to pledge loyalty, but also cut off what made him weak, which it was his ring finger with the wedding ring on it, and that symbolizing basically the thing that had made him weak, plus had caused all this to begin with, was him getting out because he got married. And it just it felt like a weird moment where it was like, this is just a bizarre turn of events. Like, I don't understand why
he's risked his life through the entire movie, right, and now he's not safe, but he's not fighting his way out. He's just like giving it. That was such a weird scene. I thought about that scene later on, and we finished the movie, and it kind of is a cliffhanger, like saying, okay, if you've seen it, you know what happens. And I go, I was just thinking, so this nomadic head of the high table is wandering around the desert for some reason, and I was like, well, maybe there's like, he cuts his finger off, and he gives him the ring as a symbol of his allegiance, the ring. And I was like, me looking, foreshadowing, trying to figure out, because it was so odd and didn't make sense at the scene. I was like, is there a tracker in it so I can find him later?
Well, that's what I was curious. I was curious if there was something more to it. I was half expecting him to go, I'll be back for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing, is we've done this. The other thing kind of is odd is there's a scene where Halle Berry, going back to where they're meeting with that guy that you walked out on, but Halle Berry has that guy on the ground. She's wanting to shoot him, and he stops her. And I was like, why are we stopping this? Because I understand you don't want to. You're already at war with the high table. Like, what?
I stopped this.
Yeah, like this guy really kind of started it, and you push everybody else out. That
you killed all these people around him.
Right.
All of his group's dead. Well, immediate people.
By the way, 104 people were murdered.
Oh, is that how many?
Yeah.
Murdered? No. They were not murdered.
No, it was justified self-defense.
All of it justified.
In the name of a dog. Not just any dog, but a dog. But I mean, here's something out. But we get a little bit of backstory on John. We learn a little bit more about the rules.
Yeah.
We learn, what's the name that she calls him?
I don't remember.
There's some name that teacher that she calls him. What is that name that he goes by?
Oh yeah, when she's talking to him. Yeah, right. I know what you mean. What was that?
Anyway, but we get these. We kind of learn more that there's so he went to basically a ballet school, which
trains.
Yeah,
trains assassins.
Trains assassins. I don't know if it was, because we go to the back and we see the tattoos. Yeah. Other dancers, and then we go to another area and there's boys wrestling, doing all the moves that John Wick is famous for.
It's good. I mean, I crossed my mind, where did he learn how to fight? I answered that.
Well,
you looking for that name?
I'm looking for the name. I'm on a. I might have to write up in another deal at some point. But I mean, it was. Here's a question: did we get John Leguizamo in this movie?
I don't know.
The car guy. He's been in the other two.
I don't remember seeing him.
Okay, because I mean, he's kind of been like a recurring character, so I know if. I can't remember him showing up. We got the Bowery King. We got a new character called the Adjudicator.
She was a jerk.
She was a jerk. I wanted to.
I was hoping she would die.
Yeah.
I was hoping she would get gold. I understand her the part she plays in it, but I was like, man, I don't like this lady.
I guess he did show up. John Leguizamo was in it. I can't remember what he was doing in that, but he's kind of a recurring character, so I was kind of hoping he did show up. But I mean, we had a bunch of new characters. We had Halle Berry's character. Apparently, there's talk of a spin-off with her character.
Okay.
They were gonna set her up for that, and then I mean, there's talk of now they're talking about the Continental Series again.
That sounds cool. Like it's more about a location and what it means to be there. We talked to was it you and I that talked about this?
Yeah, you and I talked about that on a podcast earlier.
No, talked about the idea of having people talk about fights that they just came from, and
yes,
but you never see them, but they're always like people meeting up and talking about these battles they had and fights they had and how they happened, but you actually never really see them.
Right.
And that'd be a great location to get some of that stuff.
It is. I mean, and we do learn that they are consecrated ground and that the high table can unconsecrate them.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for earlier, consecrated.
Yes, and that's one thing that they do, because the whole last fight scene is because John doesn't want to kill
the head of the New York title. I gotta say where it's at, otherwise you might get confused.
Well, I mean, I didn't know where we were talking about there for a second. But Winston is the name of the guy that he was supposed to kill, but he didn't want to do it, and so they deconsecrated it. Yeah. And that's where the whole last scene, which was kind of a cool fight scene.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean,
once again, though, I will say something that took me out of it. These guys that came running that work for the high table, very well armored apparently.
Crazy armor,
takes multiple hits, and yet I'm thinking the whole time this is going on, I'm like, John Wick, just put on the armor. You killed a bunch of these dudes, just rip off his old armor and wear it.
I was thinking, I don't know if it's feet, but shoot their feet.
Well, yeah, that's another deal. Like we kept going center mast,
and then you had to go behind the helmet.
Yeah,
to get through that. So you'd shoot him in the front of the mask. That would really rattle your brain getting shot in the helmet.
Oh yeah. So we ended up getting bigger guns, which I did like to see the concierge, that African American guy, walking out there, coming in. Like, I love how they went in there and they got the guns.
Yeah.
Where Winston's just in that vault, just
drinking some
bourbon, listening to music and listening to
with the new dog.
Yeah, it was all a huge set piece there at the end of them just fighting, and of course the adjudicator is like, I guess we need to talk.
Oh yeah,
the Bowery King, we got to talk about him, got sliced up.
Yeah, got sliced up by Kung Fu dude.
Yeah, he basically, the guy that thought above the high table or outside of the high table apparently was not.
I still don't understand the affiliations. It's like the school, it's not under the high table, but it takes direction from the high table. Because it seems like they were not directly under them, but they were associated with them.
Right.
So I think he was the same way. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I want to see an org chart so I know what's going on. And how are you related to this? And what is your role here?
The Nomad is on the top.
Apparently,
here's the high table. 12 people.
12 people.
Which I guess the Nomad's not really part of the 12. He leads it. He leads it. So it's like him and his. It's like its own religion, I guess.
I didn't understand. I kind of hope how it's worth in the movie to clarify it. I'm curious myself for my own.
I kind of think you have to establish that in a series. You can do it in the Continental or something like that.
Yeah, like how it's all laid out. Because it seems like there's a structure there that people know and understand, but we don't.
But so, like you said, big cliffhanger ending. We just end with this because we got a few minutes left. They set it up where John survives at the end. He gets thrown off a building.
Continental.
Yeah, top of the Continental. Somehow take a header into a flight of stairs and you survive. But He gets drugged back to the Bowery King. Bowery King says, "You want revenge?" And he's like, "Yeah." And my thing is, okay, so the next movie, which, by the way, we've already got a release date, May, not a date, but a time window of May 2021.
Okay.
So we're looking at him having to take down 12 people on the high table. Well, essentially 13 people.
You think he's going to take all of them out? I think if he takes out the head dude, they'll start fighting with each other.
For power?
For power, yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about, because it's all balancing the power.
I guess.
I don't know. Or take out a few, and that might cause enough rift. But I don't understand how the high table is laid out. How families work.
Once again, we need an org chart.
Because wasn't that lady in the second one that kills herself in the pool part of the High Council?
Well, she was going. Remember, her dad was part of the High Council. She was going to be the next in line, and that's why that guy wanted her killed, so that he could get the
seat. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see where and how this turns out. But I'll go watch it because I love it.
Well, buddy, why don't you tell them where they can find us?
Well, you can find us all over the internet. That's weird. You can find us at the Continental in room 704, because that's where we house out of. It's the safest place on earth. We also find us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. Just search for Pull Up a Chair Podcast. On Twitter, it's at Pull Up a Chair Pod, at Pull Up a Chair Pod. And we have our own website, podcast.website, PUC Podcast. Why website?
Because John Wick 3.
That's right. That's it.
All right. Well, my friends, thank you. You've once again sat through 30 minutes of our luxurious voices talking about John Wick and all things that we know of John Wick 3.
Yep. And this was our John Wick 1 was our first podcast.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, my friend, little known fact, just like there were 124 deaths, this is our 124th podcast talking about John Wick. No, I'm just kidding. Not true, but...
that'd be wonderful, though.
It would be. It'd be a wonderful... We can just call it we already did the Wick cast.
Yeah.
The Wickening.
The Wickening. We already did that joke.
Did we?
Yeah.
Dang.
It was all in the first episode.
One with the Wick. Down with the Wickness.
Well, I was thinking...
Down with the Wickness. You gotta be down with the Wickness.
So there's going to be a fourth movie, right?
Yes.
So there's going to be 4 of them. It feels like each movie's about, like, the life of John Wick.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what we talked about. Man, I wish we had more time. But just real quick, the first 3 movies apparently have been taking 3 weeks in John Wick's life.
Yeah, so it's a month in the life of John Wick.
Yeah.
That could be the box set.
Oh, yeah, that's like... It'll be... If they finish up the story... I was really hoping for some kind of finish here. If they finish up the story, the box set can be called John Wick. Month 1.
Month 1.
Because they keep going. They've already said they'd keep making these as long as audience members would keep coming.
I bet Keanu Reeves enjoys making them.
I think he does. I think Keanu Reeves enjoys money.
Well, he's a pretty down. He donates a ton of his money.
He does.
So he's a good dude.
He is.
He's one of the few stars that if I met, I might be starstruck. Usually, I don't even know who famous people are or show me pictures. But if I saw Keanu Reeves, I'd be like, I can't go there. I can't do it. Even though he's really nice.
I'd be like, hey, can you put a knife to me and start pounding the back up while I fight you? All right. Well, guys, thank you once again for listening. We hope you had a great day. And you know what? Get out there and parabellum like it's 1980. Bye.
Bye.